That's doing the deficit sidestep. The Treasury they'll reimburse by using us to pad their purse, like Robin Hood but in reverse, doing the deficit sidestep, claiming that they're aggravated by the problem they created. To solve the debt that they inflated, the safety net gets decimated, 'cause they hate it. Cuts pay for themselves, they claim. Then when they don't, they duck the blame. But since they have no sense of shame, they can do the deficit sidestep about spending their almoners. But these grifting, greedy groaners kowtow to their corporate owners, 'cause those big checks from their donors give them boners. When the budget hits the pits, raise revenue, not one admits. They'll just butcher benefits, doing the deficit sidestep. What a bunch of hypocrites, doing the deficit sidestep. But we see through you lousy shits, doing the deficit. You are so full of it, doing the deficit sidestep.
Hey, how y'all doing, baby? It's Tuesday. We are going to try to do this live. I'm going to tell you right up front, all day I have called my internet company twice today, left messages. They haven't called me back. My internet sucks. What more can I tell you? I don't know if we're getting out. Our upload speed is pretty good, but our download speed just really sucks, so I'm not getting any feedback. But I'm going to go ahead and forge on, because I'm going to assume that there is somebody out there listening, because I can't see it. Anyway, baby, it's Tuesday, and we have some visitors on our Discord channel. I want to remind everybody that now we use Discord instead of Skype. It's a clearer, cleaner format and platform to talk to, and it's easier to manage and everything. So if you're looking for a way to get onto the show, it's in the Discord app, and then you can join the conversation here. And we have much to talk about, baby. I did wake up this morning and I saw a little bit of our Attorney General Barr in front of the Congress this morning. I sat there, had my coffee, listening to him for a while, and I was struck by a lot of things he was talking about. And but as I was sitting there listening to him, I got the picture in my head again about what this is going to be. This is going to be a stall and delay and do whatever you can, ratchet this up. It's just like everything else that we're going to deal with. The immigration problem on the border it is ridiculous. It's getting worse, and it is self-made by Donnie. And today he was in there talking about that he had to defend, because it was leaked out that he's going after family separation again. He wants to crank that up. You heard him the other day. He wants to get tougher on the border. All that tough shit, you know, that Steve Miller is shoving up his ass, and all of a sudden Donnie's feeling all badass again, and he fired the Department of Homeland Security chief there, Christian Nielsen. And, you know, it's such a farce, because Donnie doesn't fire anybody. He gets on Twitter. He's been a little wimp like that all his life. All his TV show program shit was all scripted out. Those people knew he was going to turn to him and say, "You're fired," and that's his thing. He gave it to you all during the campaign for 2016. "Oh, you're fired," and all this bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. That man couldn't manage a noodle in a wet sack, I swear. Everything he does turns to shit. But he today had to step up and say, "Oh no, I'm not going for more family separation." And then in the same damn breath steps up there and starts talking about Obama. You know, Obama did this. I'm the one that fixed it. That's a bunch of bullshit that is only going to be believed by his little minions out there, his little cockroaches, the ignorant idiots that want to suck that shit up. Those are the only ones that are going to believe that crap. But he was out there spinning it again today. Said that Obama was the one that started family separation. Obama's policy gave discretion to the Border Patrol. If they thought that the child was in danger or was not with the proper people, then the Border Patrol had discretion to separate the person that the child was with from the child for the child's safety. That's the way it worked. Yes, that happened, but it was for specific reasons. Donnie came in and that law with a zero tolerance. That's what Donnie started. He keeps, "Oh, I didn't do this." Obama, just like everything else that man does. He wants to blame Obama. It's the only thing that's important to him is to erase everything that Obama ever did. And it's just another thing. That's why he's trying to get rid of the ACA. And I noticed Barr today when he was asked about that, it pissed me off because what I saw Barr do was shrug his shoulders like I don't give a shit. When he was asked why the Department of Justice took up the lawsuit here in Texas to do away with the whole the ACA, because the mandate was unconstitutional, which, A, I don't buy in the first freaking place down here in Texas. A Texas judge saying that it's unconstitutional for the law to demand that you buy that insurance. Well, hey, you try buying a car down here in Texas and drive it on the streets, buddy. It's the law. You have to have insurance. That doesn't fly with me. I'm sorry, that's bullshit made up to use legalese to get out of having a program to kill it any way you can. Yeah, you try to drive a vehicle down here in Texas without insurance, baby, they'll take your car, they'll load it up on a tow truck and haul it away, and you're walking from that moment on. They don't play games down here. It's the law. So his little thing about unconstitutional shit that this court down here in Texas brought up is just pure bullshit. It's another way for the right to try to kill Obamacare any way they can. But he was pressed on it, and when he just shrugged his shoulders. Well, if you think we're going to lose, what's the point? It doesn't matter. Yeah, it matters to me when the Department of Justice decides to take shit up just because they think they might be able to get away with it. Only because through legal terms, through the little itsy-bitsy cross the T's, dot the I's, and all that other shit. It's the same way with loopholes in our tax laws. It's all in the wording, baby. And that's how come Barr is there. He is there to write this report, to make the Mueller report go away. No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. We're not going to show you. He's going to delay and stall. It's the same thing on his taxes. It's a bunch of bullshit chaos, because chaos is how he gets reelected. As long as we keep this all bullshit going with so many arrows shooting in every freaking direction, yeah, then we're not concentrating on the issues that matter. And those are the issues that are in front of us. And so we need to stay informed and stay involved. Most importantly, stay involved. And anyway, I'm cranked up because my internet's not working and all that other shit that happened today. Anyway.
Yeah, you're doing a rant. I think you forgot we were doing a live stream and we have a whole panel waiting here.
Sorry. I get carried away. I get something in my head and other things try to fill it. So
this is just the start of authoritarianism, you know?
Is that? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's what he wants. That's what exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly. You call him the king. That is precisely what he wants. John.
Well, he only wants it as long as he's the authoritarian.
Yeah,
you see.
yeah. As long as it's him. I'm sorry, we're getting walking on each other a little bit. Who have we got? Let's go around the room. Mitch, are you there?
Mitch is here. I'm a Taurus. My favorite color is orange.
Orange. Oranges of what? The oranges of man, or what are you talking about there? Oranges. Yeah. Well,
No. Actual orange.
Actual orange. And we got Rick Stack. How you doing, Rick? Billable Rick.
Hey, I'm doing great. I had to unmute.
Might have left.
Took a while.
Oh no, there he is. He's there. We got Sparky along with him. Rick is our friend from out in California who frequents the concert scene, which I am very jealous of. But I'm glad you're here. We also have Tim, don't we?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Tim. How about you?
Too bad.
You had something to say? You leaned towards your mic.
No,
I've seen it. I've seen it. No, you had a
just
thought.
Right here. But I mean, I do have a thought. I was just waiting for you to get done with your banter.
No, go ahead.
We also have Chris. How's it going, Chris?
Pretty good. I'm here.
Good deal.
I'm so proud of myself. I pissed off a Trump supporter the other day.
Hey, good for you.
Me and blocked.
I love it.
It's always fun to do that.
Tell him kiss your ass. I swear it's easy to piss him off, though.
We also have Velda. Hi, Velda.
Hello.
Velda, how you doing, darling?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
And a little pissed off at Barr.
Yeah. Well, that's what we got. You know.
Oh yeah.
And we also have, and I haven't had the opportunity to meet this individual yet. What? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, this is Kay Allen from Virginia.
Kay, are you shitting me? Hello, Kay.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, darling. Kay Allen, is we go back a while. I like Kay Allen. I like her voice. I like her attitude. She lives in Washington, D.C., and every time there's a protest, baby, she's out there, and I'm proud of that, Kay. So kudos to you.
Yeah, Chris. I have my little protest partner.
Yeah.
This is my daughter-in-law.
That's right.
We go up there and hang out and just,
flipping
spend
the bird.
A couple of hours fighting the good fight.
There you go, darling. I'm so proud of it.
And trying to irritate as many conservatives as we can get.
That's our job, baby. Spread hate and discontent among Republicans. Yeah, you see one would kiss my ass. Hey, fuck Trump, by the way. I love it. Well, Kay, I'm fine.
I'd rather not. Thanks.
No, that was no. Don't use that in a
tiny dooba.
Yeah, no.
One little pecker.
See, he'd fall down and that's it. It's all over with. So.
And last but not least, we have Chris Claus.
Hey, Chris.
Chris Claus.
You know, he's a suspicious. A mysterious fellow. That guy. You know, Chris Claus. I'm telling you. I'm just,
Oh, there we go. How's that?
There we go. There he is.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm still ugly.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Mud fence. That's what I am. I can't help it. It ain't getting any better either. There's no prospect for anything getting prettier. So.
All right, sight.
Well, shit. So we have a full room tonight.
My eyesight.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed somebody.
Got a hand.
I can give you a guess what's causing that.
Our internet?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? Kay, I think you were trying to say something. I didn't hear a word of it. Is anybody in the room still hear me, or? Boy, howdy. There we go. You see, that's the part that's really going to bother me. It is when I know there's people there. I know they're in the room, and I know they're in Discord. I'm probably uploading, but probably not downloading anything. So, which means we may have lost our connection on Discord. So I'm just assuming that we're still on the air. And anybody back?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
We can hear. I can hear you.
Okay, I lost y'all there for a few minutes. It just went.
You're live on Facebook.
I think
and
it's
YouTube.
your end.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Come on, press on, John.
Press
Keep
on,
going, man.
baby. Press on, because we do have business to talk about. Yeah, we got family business to talk about, baby, and we need to push this thing forward, because there are so many things that are in. Yeah, there you go. Just leave that if you can, but if it's probably losing that. Yeah. I'm sorry, distracted again. Things going on there. Anyway, I got all pissed off today several times, and about certain subjects. But when he was sitting in the Oval Office in there meeting with President, I don't know who from somewhere.
Egypt.
Where Egypt, is that where Erdogan? Is that still the guy? Okay. Yeah.
No, that's Turkey, John. That's
Erdogan is Turkey. That's right. I'm sorry.
Erdogan.
Yeah, Erdogan. Yeah.
It's Al-Sisi. He's the leader of the military who basically took over the democratically elected government that was too Muslim for the U.S.'s liking.
Yeah. We backed off. Well, boy, howdy shit. Yeah, when he was in there.
We can't have democracy anywhere. That's one problem we have in America, you know?
Well, we're trying, but it sure seems like, there's something fighting against that, a democracy in this country, and isn't that sad to say? And it's being fought by the Republicans. I can't even remember. I'm sorry. I'm a little mixed up today. I heard something about the voting rights today. I'm trying to bring that back up in my mind. You remember what that was?
I've been busy all day. I haven't been able to watch the news at all. So sorry, I'm not going to be helpful for your
That's the problem I'm having today. Is all day long, and that's why I called my internet company twice today. Is I'm trying to bring something up on the computer to read, and I got to wait like 15 minutes for it to load. Nothing's working. We get our TV through the news. I mean through the internet, and so when the internet goes, we start losing everything, and I get frustrated because I can't find out what I want to know. And anyway.
Well, if you can't figure out what you want to talk about today, I'm sure that our lovely Discord crew can help out with that.
At me.
And not only that, it's not a terrible thing to talk about things that happened yesterday, the day before.
It's the big picture that's bothering me. You know, this whole thing of chaos. Mm-hmm. You know, it seems to be his brand and the only thing he's got to sell, and I see it every day.
Auntie Maxine had a good day today.
Maxine Waters didn't she not? She got after.
Did you see that?
No, I did not. Mama was telling me about it. I was outside. Jenny had a problem with her foot, and I've been messing with it today. But evidently, him and Steve Mnuchin, her and Steve Mnuchin got into it.
Yes.
And she put him in his place, I understand.
Evidently, he had a meeting scheduled, and he couldn't stay past a certain time.
Yeah, I've got so many important waiting. Yeah.
There were still people that wanted to ask him questions or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she just says, "Well, you can leave if you want to leave." And then he goes, "No, I'll stay and do this." And then she goes, "Fine." She goes, "You just offered to me to stay, so we'll go ahead with the questions." And she goes, and he was like, I wanted to cut it short. And she goes, "If you want to leave, leave."
Yeah. Quit talking about you want to make it short. I just want to give yes/no answers, and then I want to run out the door real fast.
If he leaves, they'll fry him.
Yeah, they will. They'll go after him. Steve Mnuchin is one of those characters in this whole scenario. When he got picked for Treasury Secretary, I just went, well, of course he did. You know, that's his play. It's his money. It's money. That's his game. And it's all.
So, any bets on the next person to be fired?
Yeah. A 66% turnover rate.
Steve Mnuchin?
Yeah, maybe so after today.
Yes, please, him.
Yeah,
he needs to be there.
He could take his wife with him.
Take that little stupid ass Nazi there.
Oh, Steve Miller. See, all you had to do is say that stupid little Nazi, and everybody in the room knew exactly who you were talking about.
Oh, he's not going to fire him.
No, that's Donnie's alter ego. I don't know what he is.
That's his little
a pet Nazi.
That's his little devil that sits on his shoulder and whispers
him.
Nothing's in his ear.
Yeah, because I compare him to a Nazi all the time because if you just look at his picture, you swear you see an armband on there, and his ideas on immigration are just period. Nobody comes in. Nobody.
He's the director of sadism.
Yes, he's just evil as evil gets, and that's who Donnie talks to. That's who he allows to call the games on this border shit. That's how come we've got so much shit at the border. That's how come we have such an increase in the flow right now, is because Donnie's been screaming for 2 years, we're going to close it down, build a wall, nobody's ever going to get in again. And that kind
of... Well, if he closes that border down, he'll be out 2 days later.
Yeah. Oh, if he closes...
Yeah, we'll lose billions in revenue if he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And others won't like it.
No. And it won't, all those people that work in car companies, manufacturers, out of a job, baby, within days. With the just-in-time supply system that the car companies like to use, those parts, they don't have room to store all. They come every day, baby. That stuff's scheduled to come through there. And if it doesn't, you ain't going to work. It ain't there. Your job's not there.
Yeah, they want it open so you can get work.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's how come he turned around so quick on that, because it didn't take long for his phone to start ringing and people start asking, are you totally stupid or just got your head up your ass too far today, or what's the deal?
About you.
Yeah, but he came He came with specific plans to start with El Paso. Let's shut down El Paso, you know. And don't think he ain't trying to do the same thing right now anyway, because he's trying to pull personnel off the checkpoints and trying to back up the entry that way. You know, he wants to back them trucks up until they're back to Guinea. Nobody's going to get in. It takes days through that line. That's ridiculous. You know, it's going to hold up, you know, commerce. You know, beside Joe and Betty who want to go down to, you know, Mexico for the weekend. Yeah. They don't want to go now. Shit, it takes 5-6 hours.
The Nazis in charge of him.
I'm telling you, that's what it appears like. With no heart. No heart. You know, and you can't help. I was
pushing her out.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were relating their attitude now towards immigration to the same thing that was happening in the 1930s when we turned around shiploads of Jewish refugees because we didn't want them in our country, and look what happened. You know, and I thought
there's over 20 vacancies of senior officials on the White House staff.
Yeah, everybody's temporary. And the debate the other day was he likes it that way.
How the hell the government is even running with all these vacancies?
Yeah. Well, he's got everybody in there temporarily acting this, acting that. And the conversation was, well, that he does that because he doesn't have to go through a confirmation, and when he gets tired of them, he can just throw them out the door and grab another one. You know, and the revolving door, you know, and that revolving door is how a lot of them people make their money. Yeah, I work for the Trump administration. I have the inside scoop. Hire me. Pay me millions and all that shit, you know. I don't know. But it's heartbreaking to see the chaos that he has created on the border now. For me, it's about we've lost our dignity, our integrity, everything we have. Every day I have to see that on the news that we are turning down children, women and children, seeking asylum from a place that is turning into a hellhole, and you know, we're not doing anything to fix the problem. He just wants to deny anybody entry into the country.
Well, they think that too. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I don't know. Sometimes I get at my wits' end. You know, you deal with this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's a shit-ass businessman, leader. He's a loser.
That's exactly, well, that's who we have, and that's how come it's, you know, you would think it would be so easy, like this is going to be an easy win in 2020, and it's not. It's not. He's not widening his base, but the base he has, baby, he's making them solid as a rock. They're in love with him. They don't care what the hell he does. They think everything he does is ordained by God. Somehow.
Yeah, the news
you're idiots.
Yeah, the news in Israel is pretty bad too.
That.
Yeah,
news in Israel is that.
Every day.
Yeah, they have the election today. Netanyahu's up on the line. Anybody know?
And it looks like Netanyahu will have made a slim victory, 0.7% victory for Netanyahu. A convicted criminal and accused of additional crimes. And they elect him, and they elect him, and they elect him over.
And that is how democracy dies.
That's it. Democracy dies behind closed doors, baby. Isn't that what you taught me, Kay? Isn't that Kay?
Sure is, baby.
Kay is the one that sent me the shirt and gave me the quote that dissent is a democracy from a slow death behind closed doors. I have it memorized in my head, Kay. Thank you. And it's true.
I believe in that.
Yes, it's when we become silent, our society ends, our way of life ends here. We're not going to be a democracy anymore. We're going to be a fascist nation controlled by corporations, greed, and money. And it seems like that's okay with a lot of people in this country, or at least 30-some-odd% of them are okay with that. You know, some of them believe it's time to have a dictator. Are you shitting me? Any American lets that come out of their mouth should be slapped. You know, sorry it was a woman that said it, but hey, that slap thing goes for everything, for everybody. Ignorance. I wouldn't physically do it. I'm just saying, metaphorically, they need to be. It's ignorance. And that's why we're all in this stuff. That's why we're all in it, to forge our way into a new era, a change from what this bullshit is. We were so happy when we got Barack Obama 2 terms. We thought this is the direction our country's going to go in. But
John, there was no drama there.
No,
there was no peace.
No chaos every day. You know.
Yeah, and people get tired of that, so they think, well, let's let the other guy. Plus, it was Hillary, and everybody's there,
let's
not paying attention to the 40 years of bullshit that they fed about it.
Yeah, well, that always pissed me off because the demonization of Hillary is what cost her the election, and that was started by Fox Spews years ago and fed into by Donnie. What the hell was that? Well, no, you put your shit down. Yeah, and that hatred that the Tea Party brought up, swelled up with all the crap they came out with Obama about, him being a witch doctor and holding up all sorts of disgusting signs. That movement is what Donnie Boy tapped into with his birther movement shit. He tapped into that hatred, and it carried right into Hillary. Because they demonized her with the Benghazi thing in her emails, and they always still scream in emails, not the content of any email, just the fact that she had emails, and then turn around and look at the shit we get. I'm getting into a rant. Look at the idiots. We got WhatsApp going on over there with Jerk Kushner. He's just on social media kicking out all sorts of shit to slice and dice over there. It's ridiculous. So I don't guess.
I ask Eric, how does it feel to be Donnie's dumbass son?
I mean to tell you. We all sit back and laugh of them, but to those people, it doesn't matter. They're on the top of the heap. They don't give a shit what we think. They're the chosen ones.
They sell him out in a heartbeat.
Oh, I mean to tell you,
one of them has no more loyalty than a cockroach.
No. I believe they'll turn on each other left and right when all this shit goes. You think that's a cohesive family? I don't think so. Donnie's.
Yeah, they're loyal to Ben Franklin and Alexander.
Right, baby. They're loyal to the money, to the bank account, to the privileged life they've had all their life. The silver spoon up the ass. They want that life, and they want to hand that down to their child, so their child can be a rich little prick. There's no compassion when you have that.
That'll be a neat fight at that will reading.
Yeah, won't it be? Won't it be? Yeah, let's hope they read it soon. That's my opinion.
They should sell tickets to that.
No shit. People say, well, John, you can't wish that. Are you shitting me? I remember when they said, may Obama's days be numbered. It's in the Bible. It's just quoting the Bible. Well, what are you saying? Oh, you can't say that about Donnie. Kiss my ass. I don't care how they get him out of there. I don't care. A rail with feathers and all that shit would be just fine with me.
I want him handcuffed and drug out by the heels, so his head is 3 steps on the way.
Drag him out by the short hairs if he has them.
But the sad reality is, we all know if we did that, the right would go nuts and threaten civil war all over again over this guy. That's what gets me.
Civil War, like they showed up to that big rally on the mall.
Yeah, there was 12 of them. 12.
25.
Was there 25?
Jesus Christ.
Are you shitting me? And they all tried to hide their faces from the camera. Yeah, after Charlottesville, they didn't really want to turn out en masse anymore. And the few that did were doing their best to hide their face. If Charlottesville was the only silver lining of that whole thing was it exposed a lot of people on video marching down the street with a tiki torch in their hand, and that's going to live in your life. Every time one of these little cockroaches is found out and they make an issue out of it, some white lady on a phone or some shit, your name is going to go down in forever on Google. When somebody searches your name, yep, you're the asshole that did such and such, and we don't want you. You're just ruining yourself. And I don't know.
And just try to get a job knowing that you were that idiot.
Yeah. That lady, and there's several I could think of right now that have asses of themselves, and they continue to do so because they still feel empowered. They feel they're starting to get more empowered that he's really got a chance in 2020. And we have to make sure that's not even a possibility, you know. And we're not, you know.
Well, those people who voted for him, that usually voted blue, but they bought his little song and dance that, I'm bringing coal back, I'm bringing industry back, I'm bringing all this shit back. You think? China was shutting down their 2 biggest coal mines.
Not Donnie.
Because there's no market for coal.
No. And they downplay, you know, it's the whole thing with the wind turbine noise giving you cancer, or you can't turn on the TV. Well, the sun didn't come out today. All the ignorant stuff that just flies in the face of reality and common sense is
John.
What he spouts. Yes, sir.
John.
Yes, sir.
If we shut the industry down, what are we going to get all of the Trump supporters for Christmas?
Yeah. No shit. There'd be a lack of coal, buddy. That's what that's, you know, I'm so proud that, you know, yesterday I was on Bob Kincaid show for there a little while. Rick was there with us and Sparky. And, you know, Rick's been up there fighting for I have the bill written down, but I'm not going to look for it right now. It's about mountaintop removal out in Appalachia. And the dangers of that, because that's, you know, it's going after coal, baby. And ever since Donnie came in, well, we're going full blast. Let's blow the top off every freaking mountain you can find. And let's just forget about all this particulate matter that little kids down 10 miles away or 20 miles away are breathing up their nose every time you do that shit. But I was real proud of him in his activity, in his going into Congress and knocking on doors and trying to get congressmen to be active in this.
The committee meeting today was kind of a farce.
On what? On climate change?
On Bob's bill. Only one Republican
only one
chair of the committee, and then one other Democrat showed up.
Boy, had a shit. Lot of interest in that, huh?
So it was.
You know, and that's one of the issues that you would think that is so obvious to us all is climate change that is happening. That if we don't act,
timer.
Yeah, baby, this is our planet. You know, I always think back to, well, you know, if you lose the conveyor belt, what they call the Gulf Stream, we're fucked. And that's what the melting of the ice caps is doing. That's what melting in the Arctic is doing. You know, it's going to shut down the conveyor belt. You know, it's going to get ugly, and it's going to be at our own hand that we're going to. You know, while we're in the pursuit of the golden goose, the almighty dollar, the profit. That's when I start to look at capitalism that is just so out of control that everything that we do, from our health care to our energy, is more related to the dollar, the profit that you can make, than any benefit to society that it could ever offer. And that's the problem with having a free market in our health care and in our
but we don't have a free market.
Well, the funny part is we're not a pure capitalist nation. We're a mixed economy, which actually has socialism built in.
Yes.
Into the system.
And oddly enough, isn't that the part everybody loves?
Well, we say we're free market, but none of the markets are really free.
No, they're manipulated. Really,
they're all manipulated and protected. For example, we would not have an airline industry, as I'm out aware, JB, if the federal government did not subsidize every single gallon of jet fuel produced and used by the airline industry in this country. We would have
gasoline for the trucking companies and subsidies to the farmers and all the rest of that. Yeah.
Travis cut my mic because I had to cough.
We just need to the abuses of capitalism, an economy that works for all of us rather than the top 1%.
You know, the other day, I was having a talk with somebody. I'm sorry, I got a hair in my, or a frog in my throat. I feel it coming. The discussion the other day about the difference between when you grow food and when you eat it. When we grow food, we give you a subsidy to grow it. When you want to eat it, we call it welfare, and it's a gift that you're not worthy of.
And that's bullshit.
And it's true. You know, when this conversation came up about one of the candidates out there was saying that every American ought to get a guaranteed income. Everybody should get $1,000 a month. And everybody gasps, look what the leftists, look at that. They're trying to give money away. That's all it's. When you stop to think about it, baby, I don't think that's a bad idea. Look at the millions of dollars that they're handing out to corporations every year. You know?
Well, most jobs are going to be automation soon.
Right.
Yeah, that's where
when you look at that money
for a job.
You look at that money says the United States of America. It doesn't say Mitch's money, Rick's money, or
no.
That money's already theirs, all right?
Yeah.
And the difference is we are the only civilized country that consider health care and food security to be human rights. We have to fight for that. That's what being blue means.
Yes.
It means we
take care of everybody and all of us from the lowest. We can't let, the poverty rate in this country, the difference between the haves and the haves not is stretching wider and wider. The middle class is damn near gone. And those that are still hanging on to them are getting screwed left and right. It's just like this.
Yeah, there's no more American dream.
No.
Sadly.
No, they I talked about the happy income, what the government says that these institutions say that the people that make $75,000 a year they're happy, they're comfortable. That's the level that you have to be in to live a comfortable, stress-free life. And there ain't hardly a soul I know making that kind of money. I'm not, I never did. And our servicemen aren't. We're not paying them that much. So they're not happy, baby. No, ain't nobody happy except those at the very top. And they're just tickled as shit, laughing their way all the way to the bank every day. I'm sure Betsy DeVos is just rolling in it, baby.
Record profits, record productivity rates, but yet the worker wages only going up by not even a full percentage.
Right.
That's outrageous.
It is.
Inhumane. It's sickening.
Nothing will piss you off
then
more.
Stop voting Republican.
That's it, baby,
That's
right there.
all y'all have to do is stop voting Republican.
That's the message we have to get across. And it goes, somebody just recently threw out that 53% of the boomers voted for Trump. 53% of the older generation voted for Trump. Hey, I don't know where they got that number, though. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Not me.
Not me either,
me
baby.
neither.
So in our Blue Dot family,
I've never voted for a Republican in my life.
I'm proud of you, babe. I'm proud of you. But if that number is true, then there's a certain part of our generation that is bought into that shit. And part of that is that 26% or whatever you got. If you grow up a cockroach, if you grow up hating somebody because of the color of their skin, they're gay or whatever, they're transgender, whatever bullshit, that sticks with them all the way into old age. So there's a percentage of the old people in this country that might be a little bigoted that way, who aren't going to vote for a Pete Buttigieg, because he's gay, and that kind of shit. But I have to believe in my heart that some of that was misguided, and they're going to turn their ass around after seeing what that bought them, seeing falling into that crowd with that message that he was harping out there did to this nation.
I think I saw a recent poll showing a vast majority actually will support a gay candidate.
Yeah. I don't have, I'm 66. I don't have a problem with it, never have anyway. But I do know people that he's gay, and that's look what the Republicans are going to say. They're going to use that against them.
How does their sexuality correspond with how they're going to do the job?
Not a bit. Every time I listen to that guy, I like him more and more.
It's their religion, people. It's their religion.
Well,
it
that
says
religion
naughty,
not religion.
disgusting.
I liked.
It's not
Pete,
religion.
I liked what Mayor Pete said the other day. He referenced Mike Pence, because Mike Pence believes in conversion therapy. Just pray the guy out of you, that kind of shit. But he had said at one of his his rallies there that if Mike Pence had a problem with his lifestyle, the problem wasn't with him.
Sexuality.
His sexuality.
Seem to have issues with their own sexuality.
Right.
Maybe my imagination.
He said, if you've got a problem with who I am, your problem is not with me, sir. Your quarrel, sir, is with my creator. And I thought that was rather good for Mike Pence because, he's a godly person and all that shit.
Oh, no, he's not.
I'm sure he's right alongside Pat Robertson and talks to him every night. That's such bullshit. Yesterday I talked to my show about that idiot Pat Robertson, who guaranteed to the 700 Club, which has a lot of old people in it.
Fake.
Oh, he is. I know it. He's right up there with Jim Baker selling buckets of food. It's just ridiculous. That, to me, if you watch the 700 Club and somebody like Jim Baker, buddy, you've gone to the bottom, just scraping the bottom of the bucket when it comes to religion. Because neither one of them guys have anything to do with religion. They're both after your almighty dollar, baby, and that's exactly what they want.
That's what most of the television want. All those preachers. God said I need 700 million so I can buy a new airplane. Well, fuck, I can use a good corporate jet.
No shit.
I want you to buy my glove, and you're going to take that glove, and you're going to rub the television with that glove, and you're going to pray to God to get money, and that money will come from you rubbing the television with the holy glove. Who was that?
I don't know. One of them has touched the screen guy. I remember a guy named Ernest Ainsley, and of course there's Jimmy Swaggart and all that shit. But there was one of them that used to actually tell people to reach out and touch the screen. And to send their money for a prayer cloth. Hell, there's one guy that's selling heavenly air, and he sells them. It's a mason jar, and his angels come at night and lift the jars into heaven, and then they close the jar up there and bring it back down to earth, and it's heavenly air, and you can buy it. Are you shit?
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
My friend.
There's a sucker born every minute.
Every minute. And they're all willing to give 10% of whatever they make.
Ways, because if you took a look at it factually, you'll find out
you've been snookered. Yeah.
Never existed.
Yeah.
You should watch Ron White's little Cheeto thing about the television. That is so funny.
Ron White, I like him anyway. I may have already seen it, and I can't bring it up in my mind right now. But I like old Ron.
Are you sitting alone on the couch watching TV, eating Cheetos? Yeah. Don't you have the urge to reach out and pay? Give me some money. He goes, thank God. I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah, no shit. Talking to that other fella down the street. Not me. No, that's just, and it's sad because there are religious people in my family, and I'm sure there is in a lot of people's families. So, when you're not, and I am not, everybody knows me. I'm an atheist, but I don't begrudge anybody praying to any one of the 4,200 religions we have in this world. Pick one like you like, baby, and stick with it. That's fine with me. It's only when you try to bring your religion into our law and force other people to abide by what you think the magic book says is when I have a problem. And the separation of church and state was set down by where it should be. And if you want to practice
that's like where Mike Pence is trying to do. He's trying to push his religion on everybody.
That's exactly the evangelical right. Thanks to old Ronnie Reagan, who brought them into this whole shit show, and now have been perfected by Donnie. They're a powerful force in this nation.
God's wrath.
Oh, right now, baby, they're talking about him being sent from God. He's like King Cyrus. They're making all sorts of comparisons to make the excuse for what they've done. They're trying to find some magical potion in the book that allows them to worship another God, and that's Donnie. That's like Pat Robertson said on his show that God told him that Trump was written in the book of life. Are you shitting me? And that he will he will be a real estate mogul in heaven, just like he is here on earth, which really struck me funny, because how in the hell is he going to be the real estate agent? I thought God was in charge of handing out who gets the mansion on what freaking hill. But all of a sudden, I guess God told Pat Robinson that no, Donnie the Dick is going to be in charge of who gets what mansion. So guess what? If you're black or brown, you're going to the servants' quarters.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed in heaven.
No, baby. But all them mansions need servants. So, that's where the good Hispanic and black people that have good Christian lives, I guess, according to Pat Robinson, all the other white evangelical idiots, think that's what's going to happen. They'll just go to heaven and be the servants. They'll be happy, though, just like they was back in the slave days. Religion
is only to control the masses.
That's it. That's exactly why it was developed. And out of all those religions that we have in the world, you look at them, and most of them all have the same story, the same immaculate birth, the same flood, the same, all of it. It's the same story recycled. We ought to be, if you throw in.
Yeah, exactly. They borrowed stories of the Great Flood, because all the civilizations actually started with a river, and then it flooded.
When it flooded to them, it flooded the world, because there was water everywhere. I could drive that used to amaze me when I was a kid, when we drive across Lake Pontchartrain in Louisiana, and you get out in the middle of that bridge, it's 20 some odd miles across that bridge. You don't see land. There's no land anywhere. You're on a bridge, and there's water in both directions. Huh. Well, the whole world must be like that. It's that thought. That just...
like last time, I always found it funny that they're calling him King Cyrus, even though Cyrus never freed the Jews for... How? He did it for the purpose of controlling the empire.
Right. But a side benefit was he helped the Jews. So there you go. And I don't even like to get started on this Christian thing in the Jewish faith, because...
Luckily, you happen to have an expert here.
All right.
What Cyrus did was Cyrus enabled the Jews to go back from Babylon to the Holy Land to build the Second Temple.
Right.
That's what Cyrus did.
And they have
this prick confused with King Cyrus.
Yeah. He's gonna, because of he moved the embassy back to Jerusalem,
and the reason he did that was to play into the nonsense prophecy evangelical.
Right. Because
Jerusalem was promised for the Palestinians once upon a time as well as their capital.
Yeah. Oh well, forget that shit. That's what. Exactly. That's exactly what. Don't forget that shit. We ain't going there. This is all. That all of the religions right there have holy sites in Jerusalem, and it just the thing that gets me is the Christian belief that when Jesus comes back the second time, if the Jewish people do not accept him, they're just going to be like everybody else, and God's going to kill them, and that has to happen. Yeah, see ya. That's
Bye.
it. And
nice knowing you guys.
What is that shit? Because all my life I've been taught that the Jewish faith was were God's chosen people. So if I'm going to believe anybody, God's chosen people, seems to me like, well, they probably have the inside scoop over there. What's all this other shit y'all came up with this other book? If I was going to look at it that way. Of course, I'm an atheist, so I just look at it all as, are you shitting me? Really? But ever since man walked on the earth, we've always had a need to have a deity, whether it be the moon god, the sun god, Thor, or later on Spider-Man and Batman and all that shit. We always have had to have a god. They didn't
have the science knowledge to tell them what's going on in the natural world, so they had to do a supernatural thing.
Yeah. God forbid an eclipse happens. Oh my God.
Exactly.
The sun has died, and it's because this God is unhappy or whatever, depending on where you were on the earth at the time. If you were in Egypt or if you're down here in the Mayan culture, the eclipse is going to happen, and oh shit, the result is the same. Somebody's evil spirit put out the light. We always have to have.
Well, if you can't see what caused something, says the neurologists tell us when we developed the ability that cause. We understood causation in our brain.
All right, cause and effect.
And you have agency. You can make things happen. So if you can't see why something happened, okay,
right,
you're gonna assign some unseen agent. Right. So basically, all of religion is basically that unseen agent.
Right. God did it. That's it. That's the answer to everything. God did it. You know, and that doesn't apply with me.
Because they said nothing can come out of, like, the universe couldn't happen with nothing. So I'm like,
right.
But it did.
Nothing. So how is that possible?
Yeah. Well, you know, they say the
nothing isn't nothing anymore.
Yeah, the
nothing
Big Bang.
Here, aren't you? Unstable.
Something happened. You know, the Big Bang theory. The Big Bang. Something existed before that Big Bang. You know, if you follow the timeline of what they say is there, the Big Bang is just giving us a reference point to start from in our own universe. And
Lawrence Krauss, the cosmologist, has a video on YouTube all about how it happened and why and what's going to happen.
Oh, we're all going to die.
And it's quite good.
I hear myself.
I do believe in the multiverse theory.
Multiverses? Multiple universes?
I believe that Jesus will come when the Detroit Lions win the Super
I think he's coming on a Tuesday myself. I do. I think he's coming on a Tuesday, and everybody's going to be surprised. They're not going to recognize him. Then they're going to put him in some lunatic asylum, and he's going to have to be having phone calls with his father up in heaven saying, oh, look here, they're going to do it again. They're going to nail him to a cross.
He won't be welcome here in the U.S.
No. Jesus himself would not be welcome here. He'd be one of them liberals, you know, a snowflake.
Brown, damn it. He's brown.
Yeah. They can't get over that either. You know, he's Middle Eastern. Are you shitting me? No, every picture in the United, he's white, just like Santa Claus, like that lady on TV said. Are you shitting me? Santa Claus is white too. It's just sad. You know, we assign.
Like in a sense. It could be anything.
What's that?
Jesus don't look like me.
Well, I don't know what you look like, but
what really gets
he's not as pretty as me. I know that.
What gets the radical Christians going is when you point out the fact that Jesus actually, and then they just lose their shit.
I lost about half of that. You broke up just a bit. Repeat that again. Oh, I'm not hearing it. No, I lost everybody for a minute. I'm hearing dead silence. Oh, Lordy. Gonna mess with us a little bit. There you are. There you are. You're back again. I lost y'all for a minute again. I went to a moment of silence there.
Oh, no, I found it funny when they picture Jesus speaking English, but English wasn't even a language at the time frame.
Well, you know, I always my favorite thing to tell people when they reference the Bible.
Let's not get hung up on details, okay? Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No.
The most important word that I like to point out in the Bible is more or less on the Bible, and that is the King James Version.
That's the King James Version.
Version. There's that word, version. If you throw the word version into anything that you're telling me, well, you're telling me, well, this is somebody's idea of what happened. There's one version, there's an opposing version. And that's what that word tells you right there on the Bible. This is just what King James decided that you would know.
No. It's what King James commissioned a committee.
Yes, he did. He commissioned a committee.
Yeah, he did.
Of saints and sinners.
To all get together and decide what they're going to put in. Yeah, a lot of people, they threw a lot of shit out, too. You bet your ass they did.
Hey, it's not like it was the word of God or anything.
Yeah, nobody would believe that shit. That'd be like saying that God wrote on stone temples of tablets. Huh?
There was an adulterous Bible. They left out the word not in that commandment.
Oh, thou shalt screw their neighbor.
Thou shalt commit adultery is what it says.
That's exactly.
Yeah. And there's a reason why they called that shit the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
So the Pope got all upset, issued one of his little papal decrees there.
Yeah.
And they had to find and burn all the Bibles that had that error, and they just destroyed the company too. It went bankrupt. It was a hoot.
A typo.
They destroyed a lot of great works of books and art. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you all know that the early Christians actually believed in reincarnation. They had to like drum that part of the faith out of the book.
They actually drove out the whole Gnostic movement, which taught that everybody was resurrected, and that reincarnation was part of the deal.
When they did the Nicene Creed, they had 325. That's when they deemed all those opposing things you just said as heretical, especially Iranianism as well.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mysticism, Gnosticism. Yeah.
And now we live in a secular country. We're having Christianism rammed down our freaking throats.
Every day.
It happens everywhere. They want to teach it in the public schools.
And they want to put it in your laws. That we're just discussing State Bill 17 down here in Texas, that people licensed by the state of Texas for any profession, whether it be a bug killer or your doctor, if they're licensed by the state of Texas, they have a right to refuse people based on their religious freedoms. And anytime you throw in the religious freedom shit, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Religious freedom means you get to worship whoever or whatever you want.
That's what it used to mean, Kay.
It doesn't mean you get to tell your buddy over there what he can
well, it's changed a little bit.
If you can't serve the public, as I say, just go the fuck out of business.
Yeah, don't serve the public in general if you can't serve us all.
Serve nobody.
Yeah, get your ass out. I don't want your cake anyway, asshole.
Shove it up your ass, man.
I'm sorry.
It's an excuse. This whole religious liberty bullshit is just an excuse that they will use to discriminate against the LGBT community.
Exactly.
That's it. It's the only reason for it.
And not for any good reason, just so they can be self-righteous bastards.
That's right. It's like, what's her name? That lady in Kentucky or whatever that wouldn't give the marriage license. What was her name?
Kim Davis.
Kim Davis. Yes, the doll of the right that was divorced several times and all the other shit went through her life, and all of a sudden she gets the Lord, decides who is and who ain't.
Well, the beauty of it is she lost her job, and then I think she got it back, and then she lost her job again because she FEMA fraud. She claimed that her house had been destroyed in a flood when in fact it hadn't been.
Go figure.
So she was found guilty of a felony.
And
are you telling me a good Christian woman like that would cheat?
Fees for the not giving it the marriage licenses too.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody like
that. Yeah, she actually did that, If you could believe that, John, the good Christian lady, cheating the government, okay, whatever. Yeah, no problem with that.
In the name of Jesus.
That's right, the name of Jesus, baby. You can bet your ass every one of these multi-million-dollar preachers is playing with the tax laws as much as they can, baby. They're not going to cough up anything for the betterment of this country. It's all saved for the betterment of Jesus, wherever the hell he's living. Because they need an airplane to go fly over the sea.
Jesus has blessed them with great prosperity. That's the whole idea, John. They have what they, like Creflo Dollar. He's got that Gulfstream 5 because Jesus has blessed him, and he deserves it.
As it says, you don't expect someone like him to have to ride inside a tube full of sinners. He needs his own private, that kind of shit.
Hey, that's a great chance to come
Right.
It is. It's ridiculous. Especially
just walk up and down the aisles talking to people.
When you look at the Bible, when it says, when they
put your hands on their foreheads and shit, do all kinds of stuff,
Into this prosperity preaching, the Lord wants you to be rich. No, I think the Bible said it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle and all that shit. That's what you've told me before.
Forget about that part of the Bible.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like a la carte. Yeah. This is a la carte Christianity, man.
Pick what you want. That's right.
I'm going to emphasize whatever helps my economic bottom line,
Because I believe the Bible says to save a corner of your field for those that are poor. I don't know how to quote this damn shit. I don't read it. But it says a quarter of your field should be.
It says that you should not glean the edges of your fields.
To leave it for the poor.
And to leave them for people who need it. Yep.
Yeah.
Really quick, before we go any further, I guess we have some internet out there because, Jesus, are you going to be all right? Man.
Off my lungs up.
God.
Well, there's a lot of pollen around here.
I know. That's why I'm legitimately worried. Because you've been like that all day. Anyway, yeah, we got some internet because we got the update that Challenger Network, our good buddy, donated $5 through Super Chat and writes, America has the freedom to practice religion, free from religious persecution, so long as you are a white evangelical Christian.
Yeah, that's who it is. Thank you, Challenger. Yeah, thank you very much, bub. But yeah, that's what it is. It's
speaking of that, let me carry this on a little, John. There was a recent Supreme Court case which basically did not give a Muslim person who had been condemned to death the right to have their imam there before they were executed. Wow. Whereas, a Christian, sure, person who was condemned was allowed to have their pastor or whatever there. So, even the Supreme Court has, discriminates against religion. It's a bunch of shit,
It's so sad because, like it was just mentioned, the way this country was founded because of religious persecution in England, and they decided to leave over here and form their own sort of, and gave that right. Our founding fathers, identified that the government will support no religion. Well, that's gone out the window years ago.
And our founding fathers were most not Christians. They were deists. They, at the time, that was very fashionable to be a believer in God, to study classical works like Plato and Aristotle and Descartes. That was very, very fashionable. It was not fashionable to be Christian. Yeah. This is not a Christian nation. Secular. Don't forget.
And Thomas Jefferson actually.
The Treaty of Tripoli says expressly that this is not a Christian nation.
Yeah. Well, they're trying their best to turn it into one. And
they're trying to.
Yes. Yeah. Well, don't think if there's some of them, we go straight to Handmaid's Tale. I guarantee you, a lot of them would just be tickled to death with that.
Well, a lot of them actually bring back the Roman Empire era of when it was a Christian theocracy as well.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous.
Yeah, well, for some reason the whole Handmaid's Tale thing, that scenario doesn't work in the urban areas of our country. Maybe it would work more in some of the redder states, but not. California. The whole West Coast would say fuck off on that idea.
But my wife was watching it, and every time I would come by, I would always make the comment, "Are you shitting me?" None of them women right there would put up with that shit. Somebody, it wouldn't happen just because of the I would consider the what's the word I'm looking for?
Culture?
Yeah. It's just not doable. You're not going to I don't give a shit what, unless it's strictly by a machine gun and holding you on, that shit's just not going to fly.
Yeah. And, yeah, to get voluntary compliance would be rather difficult. You think
we're way down the rabbit hole when we're at that point. We're way down.
Yeah. I mean, do you think these ladies that have tattoos all over their body are going to subject themselves to the Handmaid's Tale crap? I mean, come on.
No shit.
Give me a break.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Just as an example, okay.
But like I said, I believe Pat Robertson every day believes, God's going to come strike us all dead. And Donnie's written in the book.
There's actually a state, I don't remember, one of the state's house, I don't remember which one, close to voting in a bill that is going to make a death penalty to women who have abortions.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Is that right?
The whole abortion issue is such a piece of bullshit on the right, because that's the go-to. In my personal life, there's people in my family that I've talked to that I would debate, And when they can't work out of any other, can't back out of any other argument, they always fall back to, well, I'm on the right because of the babies, because I'm against abortion, and the Democrats are just all for killing babies, and I just can't go. That's so much bullshit. The Democrats.
I mean, nobody's really for abortion.
No, nobody is, and Planned Parenthood.
It's a very difficult decision. It's a personal decision.
And the government should keep their big fat nose out of it. But
it's nobody's business.
When they start spouting that abortion shit,
and it's always these these worms, these white old rural males that want to say, no, you can't have an abortion. You can't do this, you can't do that. You got to be barefoot and pregnant, baby.
They say they're pro-life, but they are pro-birth. They don't give a shit. Anything after that baby comes out of the womb, it's your problem. Take care of it and all that shit. That's right, baby. That's all it is.
They don't want you to have health care.
And if you want to thank anybody for the lower abortion rate in this country, you can thank Planned Parenthood, and you can thank the people on the left that have helped lower that rate, because they didn't do it by coat hangers and shit. They did it by legislation allowing a family to practice safe sex and to get the information they need and be treated and do exactly what it means, Planned Parenthood. Instead of
have any of you guys read the book Freakonomics by any?
I haven't. I'm familiar with it, but
that sounded familiar.
Well, just a little anecdote from there. One of the things that they statistically proved was that due to the fact of Roe v. Wade making abortion legal in the 70s, that was the primary factor responsible for the severe drop in violent crime that we saw in the 80s, 90s, 21st. So let's not go crazy here. So nobody wants abortion, but the fact that we don't have it puts so much stress on society. And when you pick on abortion as a thing, to me, that's like Trump picking on John McCain or picking on Barbara Bush. You're picking against someone who can't defend themselves. A little clump of 10,000 cells inside some woman's reproductive organ. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Have these people had nothing more important to think or talk about?
No, they don't. They don't have a life.
No, their business is straight up your ass. Anything you're doing, anything you practice, whether you're sex or anything else, how you have a baby, if you have a baby, it's all up to them. They
want to control everything. They want to control everything. It's not enough that
and they want us to. Go ahead.
They want us to have the babies, but yet.
They don't give a fuck about human life. You know that,
so
right?
Poor, you can't afford those babies. You're going to have to need financial aid and food stamps.
Oh,
and
there you go. See, there you go. Bunch of socialists. They just want everything given to them. Yeah, welfare. Yeah, exactly. That's how come I say they're not pro-life. They're pro-birth. After the birth, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
and especially. And it irritates me because it has come out before in some of the Republican bullshit, especially if it's a white baby here and if it's an American baby. Like there is a difference between an American baby and one born through an immigrant that just came up, through the trials and tribulation trying to get here and have you can't let that baby in. That's kiss my ass.
What about white babies?
Yeah,
white American babies.
Yeah.
The worst thing to me is when you're talking about like victims of rape and they go, oh, but you don't understand, this is just a gift in disguise, this is a blessing from God, you can't kill this baby. And it's like that is the worst fucking bullshit.
Well, I thought that women's bodies had like some kind of mechanism to
shut it down.
It shuts it down. That's what
who the fuck said that bullshit?
Some ignorant Republican bullshit.
I can't remember
shuts
his
a woman's
name.
Reproductive system down when they get raped because they're all emotional. Oh, you shit.
I wanted to reach out and touch that senator with my cast iron.
Yeah.
Actually, he never became a senator, fortunately.
That's the ignorance that is accepted on that side of the fence. And it's totally anti-intellectual. Yes, sir.
The Georgia governor, that asshole Kemp, you're going to sign a bill after you get to the Senate that if a woman has a miscarriage, that she can be criminally charged.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad?
I know there was a campaign by certain women to like start mailing their, you know, their shit, their periods, their tampons or whatever to that guy in Georgia.
Well, yep. That's a good program.
They did. Also in Texas, they're trying to pass a bill that if a woman has an abortion, she can be charged with not third, not second, but first degree murder,
premeditated,
and given the death penalty. How's that for irony?
That's just, you know, the depth.
That's never going to pass the constitutional.
It wouldn't pass the.
They're trying to get it back
up.
The fact that
someone the fact that they bring it up, the fact that even
2 for 1 offer.
Huh?
2 for 1 special.
Yeah, 2 for 1 special. Yeah, we're having a special today, on sale.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus, it's ridiculous, but that's where they drive the conversation because that's where the chaos is. The abortion thing is the same way. It's
sort of the loony leapfrog game that the Republicans play. They try to out crazy each other.
Yeah, I'm telling
you. And that's the sort of shit that Trump does to like keep control over the news cycle. You know.
Yeah.
So people follow what the stuff he says and try to like argue against it.
Is that we spend so much time on the chaos every day that he spells out that he is banking on that to prevent us from talking about the issues that would end up defeating his ass, healthcare being number one.
Right.
Their line now is
he's fucked himself with the whole healthcare thing. I mean, you know, Mr. Barr to prosecution, Bill Barr.
Yeah.
He's such a little, you know, flirt, you know.
That guy, he applied for the position, he got the position, and he's performing his job as he promised. He is going to protect the president regardless of what.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I'll advocate whatever the president wants to advocate, even if it has no legal merit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's telling the legislator, you know, today, oh, well, you know, why are you worried about it if you don't think the position taken by the DOJ is valid?
And when
it's like, wait a second, dude, you know.
Exactly. That's the thought I had.
You're the fucking attorney general. It's your obligation to take positions that are well founded in the law.
That's right.
You know, and if it's not well founded, why the fuck are you arguing?
And then he shrugs his shoulders and said, well, you know, if you think we're going to lose, what's the problem? Are you shitting me? That's the attitude our RG has? That you shrug your shoulders and don't give a shit?
That's not even he's not even a decent attorney. No. What kind of fuck?
Only because he had experience with Iran, Contra, and all that other shit that he knows the ins and out of the legal world enough to get to circumvent.
He told H.W. Bush to pardon everybody.
Yes.
Oh, don't stop at who the fuck was it? He had a trial coming up in the first of the year in '93.
Ollie?
No. It wasn't Ollie. It was Casper Weinberger. Don't stop at Casper. Pardon everybody.
Yeah.
So he ended up doing about eight Christmas pardons.
And it went away. It worked.
At Barr's suggestion, and it worked. Yeah. And the special prosecutor was fuming. Lawrence Walsh, and but then all he gets to do is write a report. Fuming at the president, okay, big deal. Nothing happens to the president, Do
you know what happened to the last attorney general that did this? Does anybody remember?
No.
Did what?
That did what Barr is doing right now.
Got fired.
John Mitchell, he went to prison.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he was a conspirator in the Watergate deal,
thing, yeah.
Well, he was convicted of obstruction. That's why he served his time.
Right.
Saying.
Well, I'm afraid that the 70s was a time when the law was actually enforced. There were actually some Republicans who actually cared about the rule of law. Now
they used to.
It's if they're either wearing that blue jersey or the red jersey. If it's the red jersey,
the Republicans used to be a lot of things. Remember the moral majority, the Christian conservatives and all that bullshit? All that's gone. It's Katie bar the door now. Whatever they throw out, whatever sticks works. They'll sling shit until something sticks on the wall, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They've lost their way as far as patriotism to this country or any loyalty to this country. When they're defending everything from his taxes to the separation of children at the border and all this other bullshit, his wall, all of that shit, would not be,
They lost moral high ground.
Yes, there's nothing moral about anything they're doing anymore. His whole bullshit thing about our country is full, we can't take it. I'll kiss my ass, full. Like I said the other day, have you been to West Texas? Look at Wyoming. Wyoming needs a lot more people in it. They don't have enough. Tell me we're full.
Although for some reason, I can't imagine moving to Wyoming, Idaho, states. I mean, California. Are you kidding me?
I look at pictures of Wyoming and go, yeah, it looks pretty. I could live there. But then I remember they have winter. So
they do.
It throws it right out of the ballpark for me. There you go. They have a winter up there. Oh, no shit. It gets cold, huh?
For now they do. Maybe it's going to be the French Riviera
that
someday.
Could change.
Well, that's about 3/4 of the planet, John.
Yeah.
Is that billable, Rick?
Yes, it is.
Oh, how's it going, Rick?
Hey, doing good, Dennis. How about yourself?
Did Dennis sneak in
Playing?
here?
Yes, I did.
How you doing, Dennis?
I've just been helping people in chat, trying to get their Discord up and stuff.
Thank you, because I am trying to juggle shit to even figure out what's going on the outside. I actually got this little glimmer of hope here from Ruben Michaels, who donated $10 through Super Chat, and he writes, MAGA is an oxymoron for sure.
It is. It is.
So,
Make it great.
Thank you very much, Ruben.
America, asshole Trumpanzees. They're called maggots.
Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that, buddy.
Scum.
Tremendously.
Trumpanzee scum. Maggots.
It is. The hat itself it has become a modern day, Ku Klux Klan hood. If I see one, it's the first thing that comes to my mind.
It's almost like a dunce cap, actually, John.
It is.
It's almost like a dunce cap, I think.
It is. If you're putting one of those on, spouting it around, you're pretty damn ignorant. Because if you're, it just gives that indication, unless you're just in a pack of them. And then they get the pack mentality,
Right.
You get them off by themselves, they don't want to talk,
What's that old proverb that says something like, better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt?
Remove all doubt, that's right. That's what they do every damn day.
It's advertising ignorance.
It's Fox News coming out of their mouth. That's how I can catch them. Oh shit! Look at there.
Well, they've got a direct, they've got a direct neural implant to Fox News or whatever. It basically downloads whatever it tells them to, think for the day.
It's
they can't think for
one
themselves.
of the pure little pleasures, personal pleasures I have every time we discuss Fox Views, because I have been calling it the most anti-American piece of bullshit that you can put on your TV ever since the Gulf War back then, when Bush was in. That's when I really. It's just a disgusting station that tries to play on the patriotism of this country, and they don't know what that is. And they've turned it into now nothing but a propaganda shit for the right, and with nothing but bigots and assholes.
It's the Republican Party organ.
Yes.
It's
what keeps it alive.
Supported by Saudi money.
Yes, yeah, but anything else is fake news, and that seems to be selling all over the world nowadays. So,
what I can't understand is how some people on that channel can broadcast in good faith, like Shepard Smith, for example. That guy actually isn't that bad. If you've ever listened to him.
No, and they call, and occasionally Shepard Smith, and there's another guy on there.
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace. That those are journalists, and they have a degree of dignity, I guess. That they maintain their journalistic views, because I've seen them call them out too, and
and then and then the rest of the people who are supposed anchors, like Brian Kilmeade and those guys, and the fembot attack blondes and so forth. It's like they're not even journalists. What the hell are you guys?
Fox is registered as an entertainment corporation. It's not a news agency. They have a news department, just like ABC has a news department, or CBS. They have a lineup for the evening, and then they have the news, and there's a department, and that's what Fox is. They have a news department, but the rest of that shit that they call Fox News is just pure entertainment, and that's how come Hannity and all the rest of Judge Wino and all the rest of them can get away what they say, because it's not news, it's just opinion.
Well, another guy that surprises me sometimes is Judge Napolitano. He's not half bad.
He stands up occasionally. Sometimes. He stands up occasionally and says something. There's a few over there, but the vast majority of people tune in to see Sean Hannity, Judge Wino,
Fox and Friends.
Yeah, Fox and Friends in the morning. You gotta set that, because Tucker Carlson, that prick. He was just that guy. I don't know how he has an advertiser left. I heard a lot of them were flocking away, and not enough of them. If there's still one left, that's too many.
Well, the thing is, it's not. It's not about making money or advertising dollars, or it's also not about the ratings. It's about pushing the propaganda. That's pushing the message. That's the value of Fox News to the ruling elite, to the wealthy.
But they have to have advertisers.
They do. It's got to make money, just like everything else in the world.
Well, no, it doesn't. It can be a loss leader. They can subsidize it because it doesn't matter as far as they're concerned.
Well, they're banking on a recuperation later.
Just like talk radio, just like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity, those guys have lost all their advertisers, but they're still on the air because ratings don't matter. Money doesn't matter. It's called they subsidize them for their propaganda value.
And there's nothing like that on the left.
No, of course not.
No, thank heavens there's nothing like that on.
No, but there's nobody there that there's very limited.
It doesn't pay. That's the problem. The checks don't clear for people on the left.
There's a few stations on Sirius XM and stuff that have left-leaning political stations and whatnot, but as a whole, no, it's overridden by the right-wing nut jobs.
We put our money to good use to help people and further our agenda.
I agree. I think the propaganda message is not the most effective of money. I think we have to invest it into the country. I just don't think that's a good way of doing it.
Well, I'd like to see a whole lot more investment in this country, but that would require a serious decrease in the defense budget to start turning some of that money into this country. When we get on the discussion of what we don't have in this country,
what happened to that peace dividend? That's what the fuck happened to that? That lasted about 2 years until we got into the Gulf War, right?
What was that?
2 or 3 years, maybe.
Something, it could have happened during Clinton's time, but they overinvested and they turned the real estate market upside down. And the dot-com boom went bust. There were just a series of really terrible decisions.
And so our story goes.
Well, the problem is we aren't organized like they are. If we had the organization they did, the Republican Party would not exist.
Well,
if we had 70% voter turnout,
there's the problem. What we have on the left is a lot of people that don't vote, that are left-leaning Democratic, people that just don't go out and vote. They think it's like here in Texas, that's bad. I got really pissed this last special election we had to elect a congressman in this district. And after Blake Farenthold had to be forced out of office because he was a dick and he did dick things, he's a stupid asshole. Anyway, he had to leave.
Ugly as fuck, too.
Yeah, and ugly as shit in a pair of pajamas, I'm telling you. He disgraced his office in his state. But we had a new election. And it broke our heart because we lost that. The Democrats lost it because our district is very gerrymandered. But I think one of the biggest reasons we lost was the election was on a Saturday. Beautiful day, baby, and the beach was packed. The beach was packed, baby. There was more people more interested in going to the beach that weekend than getting out and doing their civic duty to vote. And that's a big problem. People in this on our side have to take this shit seriously. Young, old, it doesn't matter. We can't be making up some damn excuse why you can't go vote. Whether it's your guy didn't get it or it's a beautiful day and you're going to the beach. No excuses for shit. It's the most important thing we can do as an American citizen is to get out and vote. If we don't vote, we end up with this government we deserve. Is that what they say? And look what we got now. We don't deserve this shit. So it takes all of us, of every generation, to recognize what we're facing and to do something about it. And
I just hope in 2020 we don't see a repeat of 100 million people sitting out.
Yeah. And that was a problem. It was a problem. There was a problem with Hillary not going to this state or that state. There were problems that we made a lot of mistakes in. But one of those problems were people that stayed home and didn't vote because their guy didn't get in. And we can't have that shit.
She didn't go because Pulse nightclub happened. She went there and was there at the funerals and the services. No.
Right. Who was this? I'm sorry.
Hillary went to Pulse nightclub instead.
Oh.
She was booked.
Yeah.
But she couldn't. But Pulse happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they were saying. She didn't go to Wisconsin or she didn't go to Michigan. She didn't try hard enough in the states that were blue, and I just.
Dude, she didn't set foot in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah. See, so there's things that we could have done better that may have produced a different outcome. We are not totally clean in that. That's how come we have to refresh this whole damn party. If you want this party to progress, get in it and change it, baby. If you want it to be a more progressive Democratic Party, get in it and proclaim your progressive views. You know, it doesn't matter. We all have an idea of what we want, but we all have to get on the same bus going in the same damn direction. And we're having trouble doing that sometimes. You know?
John, I think you should be a delegate from Texas to the convention next year.
Absolutely.
I almost had an opportunity to be involved in that last decision when they were going to have the Texas convention here. And basically it was an idea. I can't do that shit. I ain't got gas money to get to Dallas. Are you shitting me? I'm a poor boy down here, and that's how come we get so tickled every donation that we get. We're still scraping the baby, and you know, we do what we can. But the biggest thing I have to offer has always been my voice, and I try to use it as much as I can to inspire as many people as we can to stay involved.
John, I have family in Milwaukee. If you become a delegate, they'll put you up.
Well,
I guarantee it.
There was a conversation I had with Bob Kincaid actually about being in Milwaukee for the convention, being able to be on the air with myself, Bob Kincaid, and another gentleman who I can't remember right off the bat. Sparky might know, but there was talk about that, huh? It may have been Malloy. It may have been, but there was talk of that. But you know, the biggest thing is Chris Kloss. I was talking to him the other day. My wife doesn't fly. If we're not driving there, we're not going there. 26 years in aviation, and my wife will not get on an airplane. And so wherever I go, baby, I drive. But I don't mind that because I love to drive. I love to see parts of this country. So anyway, who knows? You know, I just paid off my truck. This was the first month I didn't have a truck payment, and I still celebrating that. Every time I drive down the road nowadays, I'm petting that steering wheel going, that's right, baby, keep going.
John, I'm dead serious. If there's some way that you could become a delegate from Texas, my family will put you up. I guarantee it.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I talked to, as a matter of fact, Eric Olgain today. He was the gentleman that was running for Congress against Michael Cloud, the guy that ultimately won, the Republican down here. And but I talked to him today. I contacted him because one thing, I've been very impressed with I follow him on Facebook. He's one of my friends. And so I see his posts, and Eric is always involved in social events, whether it be a protest against something or a support of some issue. He's always, you know, posting on social media about he went to this event and that event. And I really wanted to get with him and because I'd like to keep his name in because we're coming up in 2020. That seat is going to be up because it was a special election. This guy that got it, he's only going to be there until 2020, and the seat's up again. And so, you know, he hasn't declared that he's going to run or anything like that. But not only I want to keep his name out in the public, but I also want to highlight the fact that he is constantly involved in social activities that benefit our community. And he's not somebody that just you know, comes in and plays the game every once in a while. He's out there marching with different, you know, different groups for different things, and I think that's great. Social involvement, or involvement in the social issues of our life, is what a lot of us on the left, you know, we enjoy that. We want to you know, hold up programs and things that benefit a lot of people. And you're not going to see a bunch of us marching down the street holding up, you know, give the 1% another huge tax cut. You know, we've had enough of that shit. But
we don't do tiki torches.
No, we don't do tiki torches, baby.
Oh, that's so fun, though.
I have some, but we only, when I have a fire pit out back, we post them around so you can get from the house down to the fire pit without, you know, walking in the dark. I have 2 fire pits.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you don't use those like to denounce other people.
No, we use them strictly for lighting.
Yeah.
You know, you guys know I'm Jewish, and the whole Charlottesville thing was very, very difficult to deal with. But every time I see a picture of those greasy little punks with those tiki torches, I laugh my fucking ass off.
Really? How much more ridiculous?
Tiki torches.
Tiki torches.
Tiki torches.
Are you shitting me? You know, you go down to Walmart.
And all of them crying when their identity got released.
That's the part
and like,
I
oh
really
no,
love.
wait.
Oh, don't put my picture on media.
Yeah,
don't fire me. Don't fire me. I'm just a fucking Nazi.
That's all. So I have my right to express my view, yeah, and they have a right to fire your ass because they don't want some Klansman working for them.
You're in a public location where there's cameras. Of course you're going to be fucking found out, you dipshit.
I love it. And they're all marching, holding that torch up so proud, singing that song, Jews will not. Are you shitting me? On the world news. Your mama's sitting there. Bobby, I seen you march by.
Because your sperm counts are too fucking low. You can't reproduce white babies, you know? Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you.
You're like half a man.
It is so
they can't
easy.
Get laid. That's why they can't make more white babies.
Yeah. They're a bunch of incels.
Yeah. My cousin. I'm going to marry my cousin. Well, a lot of that, I'm telling you. It's got to be that. It's got to be something that's ate up that kind of, to make that kind of ignorance. Yeah. But it's, like I say, it's ignorance born of a bumper sticker. If you convince somebody to follow a bumper sticker, just a couple of words, I support the troops, you know, Jesus is my co-pilot. There's, you know,
make America great again.
Yeah, make America great again. Anything that you can stick on a bumper sticker.
Those poor boys, though.
I'm sorry?
The poor boys on Capitol Hill.
Oh yeah.
All those poor boys on Capitol Hill. They're in DC, you know, and they're single and free and they want to get on and all this, but they can't find dates.
Ain't that pitiful? Yeah. I feel for them. You know, too freaking bad. Nobody wants to date an idiot.
Who the fuck would date Stephen Miller?
You know,
really? Really? Who would date Steve Miller?
I'm a Republican. And the girl makes a hasty via the bathroom. Well, I have to go to the, you know.
Yeah, got to go to the ladies' room.
And then they never come back.
Never crawl out the window.
Yeah.
Crawl out the
window.
They
got special dating sites for those retards.
Yeah. There was that one app they started not long ago for MAGA hat wearers to find a restaurant that they were comfortable in, that they wouldn't feel threatened and all that shit.
Oh, a safe space.
Me. Yeah, safe space.
I thought liberals were snowflakes.
Yeah, I thought we were. No,
I don't
it's
think
them.
So.
No, they get their panties in a wad anytime you get up in their face. You know, it's really sad.
They can sure dish it up, but they can't fucking take it, you know?
No, because when I get asked the question, my first response is, I'm sorry, my 23 years of service prevents me from voting for a treasonous, lying con man. I'm sorry, what were you saying about him now? You know, kiss my ass. You know, I don't play into this. Well, he says it like, no, he's speaking like an idiot, and you're an idiot for believing him. You know, it's just how much bullshit has to come out of that man's mouth to convince some of these people that he's a lying sack of shit. Well, I forgive him for that. I just like the way the market's going. Oh, kiss my ass. Hey, you ain't got no money in the market, so quit singing that damn song.
That's
and
like
if you're willing to sell this country out, just tell me. Put a price tag on it. If you're telling me the only reason you want to support this man is because the economy's doing so great and we're making money, well, then you're putting a price on what this country, what you're willing to sell this country out for. How much profit do you have to make in your corporation or in your greedy little hand for you to say, well, it's time we need a dictator because I've already got my money and I don't really give a shit about everybody. That's what they're saying. That's what the whole idea is. If I get my money, I don't give a shit about everything else. Well, some of us have to give a shit.
Exactly. Well, you know, fascism is easy for the, upper middle class and upper class because they just keep their head down and make money.
That's it. As long as you're working for the corporation, the company, you're in good standing. It's the guy down in the mine that's getting the shaft. He's got to buy his stuff from the company store, baby. You owe your life out. And that's the way we do everything in this country. We say, oh, you need an education. You have to get a college degree. Oh, by the way, here's a $100,000 loan you have to take out. Now, you run along and go make money the rest of your life. Just pay it to us. It's bullshit. I am so for that, that idea of free community college for our kids. Because you want to make the future better. That's a damn good way of doing it. Our tax dollars pay for that shit anyway.
Community colleges used to be free.
Well, they're not anymore, baby. They're not. It's a for-profit shit. We got to pay the bills. Well, what are my tax dollars going for? Because every time I get a tax bill, it says right there, school district. I'm shoveling it in there. Everybody else is shoveling it in there.
It's going for F-35s in case.
Yeah, there you go, baby. And we're going to sell those to somebody. It's just like our tank program. We're not building them for us anymore. We're building them for sale. And I worry about who we're selling them to. The nuclear technology going to Saudi Arabia, really? The country that provided 19 of the partners.
There are partners in peace.
I am always been worried about that.
Saudi.
That deal.
And of course we attack Iraq after that, right?
Of course. That's it only makes logical sense. How logical? Yeah, ain't that some shit? That's this relationship that we have with Saudi Arabia is not a good one. It flies in the face of our morals every day when we sit around here talking about equal rights for people, and you're dealing with a country like Saudi Arabia. Are you shitting me? Who just now gave up some of the rights for women to drive begrudgingly and is being delved out sparingly. And they'll still chop your head off for a lot of shit.
And look at the way Americans talk about Muslims. I mean, really?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, no. baby. And in this country, that's just the word Muslim is enough for some of them. Ilman, what's her name? Ilham.
Omar.
Yes.
Omar.
Yes.
Ilhan Omar.
Look at the beating she's taken. And
Muslim is a religion.
It is, and of course we have religious freedom in this country, except for, and there's an
being Muslim.
Yeah, or anything else not Christian.
Right.
I'm surprised the Jewish faith is accepted by some of these idiots.
It isn't. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to remember where the shooting was up at the Tree of Life Synagogue was a right-wing nut job. And guess who inspired his ass?
My friends, too.
That's
my
right.
friends.
You're our family, baby. All of us. It's nothing
John,
but pure
I'm
hate.
failing. I'm pulling the eject button. Good night. See you.
All right. Good night. Hope we had a good time and enjoyed it, but come back.
Always. I will. Don't worry.
All right. Get some rest. Take care. What time is it? Oh, look here. We're coming up at 10 o'clock anyway. We're pushing 2 hours in.
Yeah, going for about an hour and 40 minutes. I'm not sure how much of that's been on the internet.
Yeah, I quit looking. We still keep getting this thing up here that says you're not connected, but I've tried to pay no attention to it. So I think it went all right. But I'm glad we had such great participation tonight. And I really enjoy this getting together and being able talk shit out. I like this Discord thing. So if you're out there and wondering how to get in, download that Discord app, and they'll hook you up, and you can join the conversation with the rest of us. So,
easy to do, folks.
Easy.
Not hard at all.
No.
Gene Shanky says, Travis, what's the story of the John T-shirt?
The John T-shirt.
The John T-shirt? Which John T-shirt?
The new one?
Gene Shackley?
Travis, what's the story of John T-shirt?
I don't know. Is it the shirt that Dad's currently wearing, or is it the one of Cowboy Hat Man?
Cowboy Hat Man.
Cowboy Hat Man?
Yeah, the Cowboy Hat Man, they can find that by going to Natalie Palumbo's Facebook page or finding the link. We have a link to where to buy those shirts. My shirts, we have shirts. We have Blue Dot in Texas T-shirts and coffee mugs and all that stuff. I do not usually try to push any of my merchandise. People always tell me, John, you should try to sell more T-shirts and shit. But I'm truly not a salesman. I'm so grateful for the donations that we get because it keeps this thing going. But I'm not good at that being in it for the money thing, and I never have been. I started this because of my passions and my beliefs, and it's why I keep doing it. It's why I'm gonna keep doing it. And so yeah, I don't push the merchandise. But where can you find it, Travis? What's the?
Well, we do have a Streamlabs store, and it's normally down in the description of the YouTube videos, but we're working on a new store with more options because people always want, different colors, different forms of shirts and all that other stuff. And though the store is okay, just doesn't offer a whole lot, so we're trying to work with a new developer of fine
when Dave sent us
fabric.
His picture the other day of him in Washington, D.C., and he's standing in front of the White House, and he's wearing my shirt.
That was so cool.
He's wearing me, "Are you shitting me?" shirt, which is, that's the first original one of those that we sold. We actually had a printer here in town where we had them printed, and then we would stuff them in the bags and mail them out. Those are the ones that actually have the word "shitting" on it.
Yeah, that was
the ones that you get online nowadays. They have to put an asterisk over there for the "shitting me." And
yep. Why is that?
I don't know.
Guidelines on the websites because they print
they don't use bad words.
They print the material. They do all the shipping. They do all the work. So it's like I wouldn't dare go against their guidelines because it's like,
I wish I could go back to doing it the way we did at the beginning where we had control of it. But the problem is having a printer that will deliver the shirts on time when you submit an order. And unfortunately, I had a company that was they did a pretty good job on the print job, and the only problem was, it comes in 3 weeks late, and then you have people, messages, "Where's my shirt?" And, and then you get a batch that are totally screwed up and misspelled. Oh no!
Oh no!
This, what do you how can you misspell? Are you shitting me? It's written. We wrote it out. We wrote it out for you and all this shit, but no.
Clearly, they went to Trump University.
Yeah.
Right.
Must have been a graduate.
A proud graduate of Trump University.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Living in my mom's basement still there. Damn.
I always say every time Donnie comes out and says how smart he is, the Wharton School of Finance ought to sue the shit out of him for defamation of character, for admitting that he went through that school. If I was at school, I wouldn't want to lay claim to that.
And somehow he's been able to keep his transcripts a secret.
How about that? Just like everything else.
Daddy bought that degree.
Oh, Daddy bought everything. Just like, he did for Ivanka and Don Jr. He did. He paid to get their ass through college. They didn't work for it. They ain't,
Yeah.
That's what kills me so much about seeing those two people where they are in our government. And when neither one of them know a rat's ass and about any damn thing, they're just
same thing with Jared.
Yes, he's an idiot. Jared, he's a spoiled little rotten kid with a silver spoon up his ass who thinks they are entitled, and you can see it in their face. And every time,
they're grifters.
Yes, they think they are entitled to this. They are royalty now, and they want Daddy to become the first dictator. They're all behind that shit.
Well, yeah, because they're the next generation.
That's right. You know,
I mean, the first female president could be Ivanka.
Please.
I know. Scary thought.
You think to yourself, no, we wouldn't be that stupid, but we elected her daddy. So, yeah, we can be that stupid. And
look at George W. George W. got elected.
Exactly.
Or selected, I should say, 5-4.
Yeah. Selected by the Supreme Court.
Right, that's, 5-4.
Yeah.
He won by 1 vote.
Yeah. We have to remember that's twice we've been screwed over by the Electoral College.
Well, of course, the Republicans like that. That's the only way they can win.
That's it. You know. Well, people, it's 10 o'clock, and so I guess we're going to wrap it up for this evening. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Mitch, Rick, Sparky, Tim, Chris, KLW, Velda, K. Allen. Thank you so much. And Chris Kloss. I'm so tickled Kay showed up because she's been trying to get on here for a while. And I told y'all I have a thing for her ever since I saw her first video when she was talking about books. And I admired her. I don't know. I just admire her. She's a neat person, and I always see her out. So, Kay, I really
always talk about books.
Yeah, I know you do, darling. I love that shit. I wish I had more time to read right now. I've got books I want to read. But it just seems like every day, you know, it's, you know, not yesterday it was my donkey's foot again. God damn it. I just did one foot, and I got to do another foot. And you try to do them all 4, but she doesn't, you know, she gets antsy, and, you know, I give up too easily.
I even raped them, too.
Oh, did you? I love my donkey. She's out in the yard today, but I'll be the first one to tell anybody. She is spoiled rotten. I mean, and she knows how to play me like a fiddle. I bought some treats, some horse treats, you know, little apple molasses things there and she knows where they are. I have a tub of them down there by the hay, and she knows exactly what's in that thing. She'll sit there and hee-haw at me and look at it. Look at that one container. It's like, no, you're getting fat. And then I go
and
get her.
Give in.
And then I go get her a few. So, you know.
Yeah, of course.
That's who I am. But and then I have to get a few out because Boomer the goat, he's looking out the window, looking out over there going, yeah, I saw that shit. Where's mine? You know, it's like, oh, shit, now I got to go get him, son.
So you're saying you get guilt from animals?
I mean, to tell you, buddy, I'm big at it. Look at this. Oh,
they got you trained, don't they?
I mean, to tell you, when I come in, drive in my driveway, if I go to check the mail and come back and drive in my driveway, I got 3 dogs. It would be 4 except Molly. She can't get up very much anymore. 3 dogs standing out here on the stairwell, just howling like crazy, and that gets the donkey going, and she starts hee-hawing, and they keep that shit up until I get out of the truck and come into the house, which means I have to walk all the way up the stairs because our house is on stilts. I'm trying to run my ass up just to get them to shut up because everybody in the freaking neighborhood can hear this shit. And they won't stop until I get in. So, yeah, I'm well loved by my animals. I'm very appreciative. I was telling somebody the story that I had actually left the phone on in the car when I was talking to my wife one day going into town. I'll be real quick. And when we hung up from each other, neither one of us hit the hang up button. So essentially, we just had an open line. I had put my phone down. Of course, the screen went blank, and all of a sudden, going down the road, I'm listening to the music in the truck, and all of a sudden, I hear this noise, and it's a screech like, oh, what is that? And I thought it was my radio, so I turned it down, and it went away, and then all of a sudden, screech. Oh, shit, what the hell is that? And I start, easing off the gas, thinking there's something wrong with my truck. This went on for a little while. I'm cutting the short story. Several minutes later, after trying to figure out what this screeching sound was in my truck, I noticed that my phone was still on, still connected to the house, and what I was hearing was my parrot, Fred, screeching his ass off for some reason, which he can do at any time for some unknown reason, just go into screaming shit. And that's what I was hearing, this squawking constant. It was at a steady rhythm, and I thought there was something wrong with the wheel bearing or something going wrong with my truck. But no, it's just my bird on the telephone there. So I'm telling you. But, yep, I'm a big animal lover. I changed shirts. I put on a Trump shirt I was wearing today, and I got 2 compliments when I went to the store earlier today. 2 different people say, hey, I like your shirt. And it has a trophy on one side and a picture of elephant on the other side. And the words over the trophy said, "This is a trophy," and under the elephant it said, "This is not." And you know, it's. I got a couple compliments on that. That's one of the shirts one of our family members sent to me. They're not all political. Some of them are just genuinely nice T-shirts that you could wear in any company.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. I have a lot of neat T-shirts. But anyway, I guess we're going to wrap it up for the night. Thank y'all so much for coming in by and visiting here. And those on Discord, you want to hang around just a minute, and we'll just go ahead and sign off. We want to thank all of our Patreon members and those that supplied the donations through Super Chat and PayPal and through the mail and whatnot, and those that have made a big difference in keeping this show going. We appreciate them all. And it is $1 a month goes a long way, baby. I'll tell you, I'll give you 5 cents a show for $1 a month. So we do our best, but we really want to thank those people that take the time to donate like that. You want to add anything before we shut it down?
Yeah, no, just I appreciate our lovely panel for hanging out with us tonight, and really appreciate the people who are watching. I think they're watching.
Yeah,
I can't see
have no
if
idea.
anybody's watching.
Yeah.
If we've had internet trouble throughout the night, I appreciate you guys just kind of hanging with us, dealing with it.
I don't know exactly how much of this actually made it up on the air.
Yeah, we still got about 80.
About 80 people? Is that what you got cut off right there when you said 80. I guess that's great.
He said
it's good turnout.
There you go. There you go. We have a wonderful Blue Dot family, and it grows all the time, baby. And that's what the whole idea. Keep the conversation going. You know, on these nights, Tuesdays and Thursday, it's open. We can talk about politics, or we can talk about asparagus. It really doesn't matter. As long as there's conversation going on, I'm going to enjoy this. So we talk about anything that comes up, and that's the way I like to play it. But again, thanks everybody. Like, share, subscribe. John Bernavo, Blue Dot in Texas, baby. Join the Blue Dot family and make it grow. Let's make a difference in 2020, and y'all take easy. We'll see y'all later.